Hello, my name is Brendan O'Neill. I'm the training director for Beacon Financial Training, and my company, and me in particular, have been teaching and training people through CeMAP for the last 13, 14 years. One of the things we've decided that we want to do as a company is to try and help people who can't attend one of our 5-day courses to be able to see clips which will hopefully enable them to, if in effect, be doing the course in the comfort of their own home, in front of their own computer screen, iPad, etc., etc. So what we're going to do now is to just show the intro to this, and this is what you would see if you are on one of our 5-day training courses. This is going to be a CeMAP 1 course, but what we're going to start off first of all doing, we're obviously just showing you to begin with that obviously that's the name of the company, CeMAP 1 training course. That's our company details. And obviously, if you want to get in touch with us, then please either contact us there via the email address there, which will go through straight away to me, myself. If you want to click on our website, www.beaconfinancialtraining.co.uk, there's our company address, but please feel free to get in touch with us via email. So we're just going to move straight away to the actual course itself here, and on the first page of your booklet, which again we can give you the hard copy for. Then obviously just some sort of copyright issues there. All this is provided by us ourselves. You'll also notice that my company and myself personally are authorised by the examination body. They're called the London Institute of Banking and Finance, and we are a recognised CeMAP learning support provider. That means that the examination body have come out to watch me deliver these courses that we do in obviously different locations all over the country. And they've checked that the courses that we do are of a certain quality, and they believe that we are obviously able to help people to get through these exams. So just obviously for you, from your own peace of mind point of view, you've got that additional sort of background there, I suppose, on our business. In terms of the actual course contents, so we'll look at the introduction to this in a minute or two, but the way that we break this down from a teaching or training point of view is that we break this down into a number of units. So Unit 1, okay, looks at the entire financial services environment. That's what makes CeMAP 1 in particular a bit of a challenge, actually, because I know some of you guys are all looking to be mortgage advisors, okay, but unfortunately for the first part of this course, then it's mainly about financial services itself here. So all these little topics are little chapters. So what we've actually done is we've broken down what is fairly dense information into hopefully a more user-friendly format. We'll go through all this with you bit by bit. And you'll also notice when you actually get onto it, you'll have a little mini test after each one of those topics there. Lots of topics there, obviously, there from a Unit 1 point of view. Now, when we finish Unit 1, I'm obviously going to break this down into all these little topics there. Then we've also got a Unit 2 side of things here. Now, that's a different area, really, I suppose. We'll look at the rules and regulations in relation to financial services. Lots of different topics there as well. And again, the same sort of concept here. Not as much detail on Unit 2, you'll notice there, but obviously, as you'll see in a minute or two, when we look at the format of this, from an examination point of view, you'll still have, I suppose, an exam on Unit 2 as well as Unit 1. So an exam on Unit 1, an exam on Unit 2. We've got lots of mock papers here as well that you'll also be able to have a go at yourselves. And all the answers to these are in the back of your PDF booklets or your hard copy. So you can mark all these yourselves as well. And we've also got some further mocks that we can also send out to you to give you obviously a bit more practice on that from that particular issue. Performance trackers, not a very massive point this really, but just one point that I do want to make clear to everyone. When we go through each topic and when you then have a go at the test, it's a good idea, I think personally, to record the score that you got in that particular section. Because obviously there's a lot of intense, dense material here that we are covering. And I think it's a good idea to actually record your score on the back there, because what that'll do for you come the end of the whole thing is it'll give you an idea where you're stronger and where you're weaker. So as we're going through that, when we actually attempt the actual test, it might not be a bad idea to print off these performance trackers, keep your own track, or you can do it obviously obviously on your computer if that's what you wish to do. But obviously it's entirely up to you on that one. It's not compulsory, obviously, it's entirely up to you. But I think it's a good idea there. Now, you'll also notice down the page and onto our next page there, we've got 2 performance trackers there. Okay, so the first one covers the Unit 1 area. The second one obviously covers these issues from a Unit 2 point of view. So over the page again, and onto the introduction on this. Just want to spend about 5 minutes or so, if we possibly can, just talking about the examination format here. So CeMAP 1, multiple choice exam. It's all multiple choice. So you've got 4 possible answers here. It's A, B, C or D. So when you do your exams at the computer test centre, basically tends to be these places where people go to do their driving theory exams. You obviously, each question will appear one by one, okay? And then you'll choose either A, B, C or D. When you've chosen that, if you want to, you can then click on next, which will then move you on to the next question. Now, as we said before, there's 2 units here, Unit 1 and Unit 2. So what you're going to get here in terms of your exam is 15 multiple choice questions on Unit 1 in 1 hour, okay? And you'll need to get a pass mark of 35 out of 50. Says there in the third bullet point there. So 35 out of 50 is the magic number that you need to be striving to achieve here in order to get through CeMAP 1. But the important point here is you've got 2 separate units here. Unit 1, 1 hour, 50 questions, 35 out of 50. Unit 2, also 1 hour, also 50 questions, 35 out of 50. So in order to get through CeMAP 1, and this is a really important point here that I need to make sure you all understand, you need to get 35 or more out of 50 on both units in order to get through CeMAP 1. So example, if you were to get, let's say, 40 out of 50 on Unit 1 and only 30 out of 50 on Unit 2, well, if you think about it, you've actually averaged out 70% there, but you have actually failed one of those units. So you would have to resit that particular exam, but you would only have to resit the one that you failed, as we say there again in the third bullet point there. Okay, so 35 or more out of 50 on each unit in order to get through CeMAP 1, which obviously is what you need to do. Okay, so yeah, just be aware of that particular point. In terms of the exams, the exam always has to be done at one of these specialist driving theory test centres. The company here is called Pearson VUE. They're the people who sort of administer this. They are a worldwide body, so you can do your exam almost anywhere in the world. But usually we're talking about people obviously in the UK, which are the vast majority of the people who do our particular courses. They're more or less every medium-sized town will have one of these places where people go to do these particular exams. Okay. Now, in order to be able to actually take your exam, you will first need to register on the second bullet point here. Okay, with the London Institute of Banking and Finance. They are, as I said before, the examination body. There's a telephone number here, okay, which is 01227 818 609. So you can call them there in order to register. And we do recommend that you take your exam within 14 days, if you can, of finishing the actual course itself. So do it while it's still relatively fresh in your head. Just one final point before we actually look at the actual sort of content on this. You will need to take ID with you, okay, photo ID. You'll be given a taxation table, which I'll show you again when we actually start looking at the actual content on here. So you don't need to learn the stuff on there. And they'll also give you a calculator and a whiteboard pen to do any workings out. Once you've finished the exams and you've answered all 50 questions on each unit, so 100 questions total, and then obviously the exam ends, you'll find out your results straight away. Okay. Thank you very much for listening to our introduction. Thank you.